So we're continuing our talk about loops, especially for loops. And this was the previous example that I used right here. And this is how you get a task to repeat itself over and over and over and over. All right, so I went through the sort of makeup of what's in there. And we're going to go ahead now and we're going to take a look at this bit of code right here, because that code is going to be what's called a nested for loop. So as you see here, you have a for loop inside of another for loop. Oh dear. All right, now the counter for the outer for loop is I, so I made a little comment here so we can keep track of what that variable is while we go through this example. And then J is the counter for the inner loop. So let's go ahead and let's enter the for loop, all right, and I gets initialized at 1. So I'm going to put 1 here so we can temporarily keep track of what that variable is doing. All right, so now we pass the test, and 1 is definitely less than or equal to 5. So that is true. So now we can enter the inner for loop now. So now we're just going to look at this code right here. So J gets initialized at 1, so I'm going to put 1 here just so I can temporarily keep track. All right, does it pass the test? Is 1 less than or equal to 3? The answer is yes. So then it will print out hi there to the screen. Now let's see if we can keep track of how many times it prints this out to the screen. Now J gets incremented, so now J is 2. All right, does it pass the test? Is 2 less than or equal to 3? Yes, it is. So now it prints it out. All right, and maybe I should make a little comment here, and let's just say number of times printed. So now we're at 2. 2 times that hi there got printed. So now the variable J gets incremented again. So now J is 3. Does it pass the test? Oh, right here, there's the test. Is it less than or equal to 3? Yes, it is. So then it'll print out hi there one more time. So there we go. Now it's printed out 3 times. Now J gets incremented again. So now we're at 4. Does it pass the test? Is 4 less than or equal to 3? No, it's not. So now Java exits the inner loop, and we have not finished the outer loop yet. So now I will get incremented. So now I is 2. Then we come back up here. Is 2 less than or equal to 5? Yes, it is. Now we go back into the inner loop one more time. And now we're starting over again, so that means J gets reset to 1. All right? So now, how many times is it going to go through? It's going to go through and it's going to print it 3 more times. So now it's printed 6 times altogether. Okay? Now, by that time then, it'll exit out of the inner for loop right here. Okay, and then it'll come back up and it's going to increment I one more time. So now I is 3. And then is 3 less than or equal to 5? Yes, it is. Now we'll enter this, reset the counter J, and it'll go through and do this 3 more times. So let's say 9 now. Now it exits the inner for loop and comes back up to the outer for loop, and it increments I. So that is 4 times. I is up to 4. Is 4 less than or equal to 5? Yes, it is. So now it'll come down here and it'll spin through the inner for loop 3 more times. So now we're up to printing out 12 times. Then we increment I one more time, which is now I is a 5. All right, is 5 less than or equal to 5? Yes, it is. So now we'll go through this for loop one more time. So that should be up to 15 times printed out hi there now. And then I gets incremented one last time, and this is now 6. And then is 6 less than or equal to 5? It is not. So now it will exit the for loop, and it will come right down here and exit the rest of the code that's in the class. So I came up, when I traced through this, I came up with 15. it'll print out 15 times. So let's try this and see if that works. All right. Here's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15 times. Sure enough, it worked. So that is what we call a nested for loop, and it's a pretty useful thing, and we will use these in exercises, and actually we'll use this throughout the whole rest of the year, and this is something that's on the AP exam as well.